But what is the current scenario of the operators currently? Are they looking into FIFA too much and ignoring the other sports events?
You see the similar promotion, you see the similar tournaments, you see the similar player props, because that's what you see. What happens in the background is the thing which matters a lot.
True.
Acquisition is a cost, retention is a business.
Are you interested in FIFA more than cricket?
When you talk about FIFA, it's a mature market. We talk about Women's World Cup, it's an emerging market.
Why people are too much attracted towards FIFA more than a women's? And
Now operators are also becoming very smart. Mature market that brings the revenue, the Women's Cricket World Cup, right? That opens a new opportunity, that opens a new market. But when you talk about mature operators, they are preparing it for more than a year or even 2 years.
But according to you, what is more important, the player behavior, operator strategy, or a competitor landscape? What is more important? Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Unfiltered iGaming, and today we are joined by Snehal Bhatt. So how are you feeling, Snehal?
I'm good. What about you?
Everybody is good, from my end. Do you remember our previous conversation?
Absolutely, it was a good one, yeah.
And it was a very amazing and fun-loving conversation. If audiences, if you haven't watched that, we will link into the I button. You can click it, you can check it out after this podcast. So before getting into the serious and technical aspects of iGaming, I would like to understand how you are likability towards the FIFA and the major sports event. Do you like FIFA?
I mean, yeah, that's what the sports what we started watching, and majority of Indian people did the same, after the cricket, of course. And FIFA coming once in 4 years, it's always a huge event. And I think, we can able to see the excitement in India itself. People are staying late, 3 a.m., 5 a.m., waking up at 5 a.m. and watching the match. So absolutely.
And also I have seen there is two major sports event is coming at the same time. One is Women's T20 World Cup, ICC T20 World Cup, and another one is FIFA. So are you interested in FIFA more than cricket?
Well, I mean, there is two aspects to look at that. When you talk about FIFA, it's a mature market. We talk about Women's World Cup, it's an emerging market where we don't have any specific betting product tailored to them. But then that's a opportunity for operator to create its own new market. So in 2026, it's kind of a once in a lifetime scenario where both is coming together. So I think that's why operator is trying to focus on that.
So Snehal, when we generally hear about the FIFA, there are so many fan thing generally comes into, because we look at the FIFA, we feel like there is an amazing, sometimes we love a particular player, sometimes we love somebody's playing techniques and all stuff. But while watching the match, we sometimes feel in the back of our mind, there is something business generally runs, and some people like you, the business generally runs. Do you feel any kind of opportunities while watching FIFA?
I mean, absolutely. It's not just about watching FIFA. If, from the time we entered into this industry, so I can recall maybe, it was second or third season of the IPL where, the market thing come into the picture. We start evaluating as a user perspective. But then, we had platforms like Dream 11 and all. It's not specifically odds, but then, it's similar to that. So from that time, whenever we start, we do a match, we see a match, I do see two different scoreboard. One is the actual scoreboard, what everyone sees, and then one is a market. So market will always come in together when any sports are going on, and that's business, of course.
And if you look at it into the market, there are two major sports events which we have discussed earlier. Why people are too much attracted towards FIFA more than a women's? And are there something which is operators are attracted to one sports more than the others, because both have the similar kind of traction from the audiences? What do you feel about it?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't deny that. But then, now operators are also becoming very smart. If you see the mature market that brings the revenue, so people cannot able to ignore that, and no one should. At the same time, the FIFA World Cup, World Cup of cricket, the Women's Cricket World Cup, right? That opens a new opportunity. That opens a new market. If you see this particular World Cup, which is happening in England, they are almost full stands. And what is the time when we have saw that, right? So that suggests that craze of that is going up. And I think that's a good market where people want to bet on, let's say, Harmanpreet Kaur, Shefali Verma, and all. So I think people are taking this as a good user acquisition channel with low cost.
But what is the current scenario of the operators currently? Are they looking into FIFA too much and ignoring the other sports event?
They are not ignoring that, but FIFA always have a huge share when it's going on. You just cannot take it away. It's like what American football is to US sports. When the Super Bowl comes, everything belongs to that particular thing, and there are so many people who just bets during the FIFA World Cup. So I think that is a good acquisition channel to get new players on board.
Mm-hmm. And also, if we are speaking about the operators have some kind of a strategy. There are few tweak in between, but if we look at the competitor landscape, every operators are using their individual strategy, and they are moreover look like a similar.
Yeah.
But sometimes in between, some brands shine and some brands doesn't shine.
Absolutely.
Some brands, end up giving a good revenue, end up taking the good revenue, end up shining their brands, and some brands could not able to do that. But despite of it, however, the both brands are using the similar strategy. How is it possible?
Absolutely. I mean, this is because this is what user sees, right? As a user, you see on the XYZ website, which is Sportsbook, another Sportsbook, abc.com. You see the similar promotion, you see the similar tournaments, you see the similar player props, because that's what you see. What happens in the background is the thing which matters a lot.
True.
Because people who are not mature enough, they don't understand the importance of this particular huge event. They start preparing couple of months back. But when you talk about mature operators, they are preparing it for more than a year or even 2 years. And it's not something what user can able to see. It's more about how you plan your campaigns, advertising, and everything, and what kind of partnerships you make. And that happens. That's where some wins, some goes, some falls, some it doesn't just matter. It's maybe spike of 2-3%.
And let's take an example. If two operators are they are in a both similar, they are working in a very similar kind of strategies, I would say, and they both are preparing from a year, but still somebody else taking the good revenue and somebody is not. Are there any technicalities in the back end into it?
Absolutely. And it's not just about technicality, it's about how they approach the tournament.
Do they understand the player behavior better than the other?
Yes, they do. Player behavior is one thing, and then sometimes what happens is people just want to capitalize on the tournament and they want to earn as much as possible in this particular 6 weeks. That's not going to work. If you treat this 6 weeks as a new player retention, that is going to pay you off much better in next 2 years, because this is the period where you can able to acquire new players very easily. Because even people who are not watching football at a regular time, they will end up watching football. So that's the thing. It's not instant impact. It's more about how more you can acquire, and over a period of time how much you can able to generate from that.
But according to you, what is more important, the player behavior, operator strategy, or a competitor landscape? What is more important?
I mean, see, when we go ahead with this kind of huge event we talk about, or even a smallest event, you have to consider all these 3 things. Apart from that, how good your platform experience is, right? You do understand player behavior, then only you can able to do the market well, and then you can able to do the bonuses well. And if your platform don't support that, that's not going to help. And that's happened in most of the white label thing. But if you have your own platform or turnkey platform, you can able to do a lot of mix and match. You can have good control on the odds. You can decide what we want to show, what we don't want to show. So ideally, it's more about in which order you give the priority of all these 3 things, and you can't just leave anyone out of this, to be honest.
And if we are talking about the major sports event like FIFA, there are 2 major thing generally comes into the board. One is a prediction market, and another one is Sportsbook. And they both are updating their odds, and they both are working towards the FIFA and such major sports event very proactively, right? So if and there is this is something very easy to comment or pass on some suggestions towards the operators, but we have to put ourselves in their shoes. So I wanted to give you one challenge, that if you are into the situation where you wanted to bet among these 2, the prediction market versus Sportsbook, what will you choose?
I mean, see, to be honest, I'm being a bit old school. As a player, I still will choose Sportsbook. but I'm keeping my eye on the prediction market as well.
But
From the
prediction
business,
market is
yeah,
booming, right?
it's booming, absolutely booming. And you know what the future looks like? Someone who can able to accommodate the UI UX or feel like sportsbook in a prediction market. Because prediction market opens up a lot of other markets where regulatory sportsbook are not allowed, and that's why it's booming a lot. They are doing two-way going, but if you talk about sportsbook, the money is still there, the money will be there. It will be maybe the percentage growth we talk, but prediction market will do a lot much better. But then you will need to have sportsbook tied up, I think. No, so I think DraftKings is doing this very beautifully. They are trying
And
to
also,
combine everything.
I heard this somewhere that the sportsbook operators are shifting to prediction market as well. Is
Yeah.
this true? And why?
It is. I mean, classic scenario. We talk about US, right? It's sportsbook is state governed, where you need license of all the states. At the same time, many states don't allow sportsbook. But when you talk about prediction market, it's federal governed. So ideally, once you have the CFTC license, you can able to operate in all the states where even sportsbook is not allowed. Just by pursuing that, it is a contract or it is a trading. But if you see 80% of the trades are sports. So everyone, I mean, if someone is doing a transition from the sports book to the prediction market, it's obvious one, and they're gonna get a lot of money out of them for sure.
And also, I see like so many people are betting, and the player are really active towards the FIFA. But I want to ask you this question: what kind of operators make the most of it? Because FIFA is a major event.
Yeah.
Most of the new players also can have the possibilities to coming on there, but not even the possibilities. They will definitely come. So, what kind of operators do you feel will make the most out of this major event?
Absolutely. See, I mean, if you are someone who is betting for the first time, let's talk about, we don't know football, but then we like Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, and you want to bet on that. Why not, right? If you talk about Latam, if you talk about African country, there are so many people who will be doing first time betting in this particular event, and because they don't know the nuances, they don't know too much about what sportsbook looks like, it might feel overwhelming to them. So operators who will have a clear user interface which will help new bettors to do what they want, I think they're going to win, because that's how they can able to retain them for the next period, and a good segmentation will help them target them in future events as well. So I think that's a strategy for the operators to look out for.
Fair enough. So the operators are doing a very great job in terms of the strategy.
Yeah.
That seems. So here our serious part ends up, and now this is the part which is we have integrated. It is a rapid fire, but it is not like the previous one.
Okay.
Here you have to choose this or that.
Okay.
So there will be two options, and you have to choose one amongst these two.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The first question to you is FIFA 2026 or Women's T20 World Cup?
Well, FIFA 2026 to be honest, but if both operates different things, but if I just have to choose single, it will be FIFA from the business point of view.
Sportsbook or a prediction markets?
Sportsbook, but I'm keeping eye on the prediction market for sure.
Okay. Casual users or hardcore sports fans?
Casual users, because hardcore fans knows and they will find us somehow. Casual users is what we have to reach.
Player acquisition or a player retention?
Retention, absolutely. Acquisition is a cost, retention is a business.
Global trends or local opportunities?
Local always, absolutely. Global will tell you what's possible. Local execution will confirm what is profitable.
And market timings or product timing?
Market timing, because not 90% good product will do much better in early market stage compared to near perfect product in saturated market.
You actually managed to answer it really well, Snehal, and it was a really great conversation. A quick, very short conversation, but yes, it has to be there because the FIFA is there, and also too many major events will going to come up. So, do you have any parting words for the audiences, for the players, for everybody who is watching the podcast?
I mean, it's more about how you envision a specific tournament, and I think keep your emotions aside. That's a most important thing for the users, to be honest. And if you are on the platform side, you need to figure out the best way to retain and acquire new user at the low cost possible and retain it for the longer period. Thank you.
Okay. And also there is one bonus question from my side is, if there is a one piece of advice which you wanted to give to the operators, knowing the fact that there are many major events also will going to come up. So what kind of advice will you give to the operators who is watching the podcast?
I mean, plan a year ahead for next 2 years. So ideally, if FIFA is happening in 2026, start planning from 2025 and keep that cycle to get most out of till 2027. That will help you get the most out of all the new users.
Very insightful. Thank you so much, Snehal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.